Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Power Hour, Episode 6, presented by Intelligent Applications. I am your host, Fazil. We took a little break for a couple of weeks. Things were busy at the office. We're back again for Episode 6. With me today is my co host, Riyadh. Riyadh, you want to say hi?
Hey everyone.
Right, so Ryan took a break today, so we getting Riyadh up to speed with us today to help us out. Um, Again, please share the video, like, subscribe, um, leave your comments in the chat. Riyadh will be monitoring the chat. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, feel free to type them, and we will respond. Today's topic, we're doing a five-part series, business case to dashboards. So we wanted to take a business idea or business case, a practical example, and show you each step in the process how we build dashboards or get to dashboards. Everyone wants to get to the end goal, which is dashboards, but most of the work is done on the back end, right, with the preparing your data, etc. So Riyadh is going to be helping me with that today. Um, so part one, as you can see here, is defining KPIs and identifying data sources. Right. If we go to my next slide here, this is the 5-week plan we have to get from ideas to dashboards. Originally, we were supposed to start last week since there were 5 Wednesdays in July, but we will be sticking to this plan. So the 5 sessions will be new existing business, define KPIs to be tracked and its data source requirements. The second session would be data model design, data transformation, and how we model our data using some test data or existing data. If you guys have any data that you would like us to take a look at, nothing confidential, or you could send us it. We'll take a look. Maybe we'll use it in one of our videos, with your permission, of course. Um, Thirdly, we have built simple charts from our data model in Power BI and use built-in measures from Power BI to do simple calculations or card values. Fourth, we have simple DAX. So we'll be introducing you guys to DAX, which is data analytic expressions, and we'll do some more intermediate chart design and analysis. And to round it off, the session you guys are probably most interested in, the visual design and formatting features in Power BI to make some stunning reports very visually appealing and easy for the end user to interpret. Cool. So I hope you guys are excited about this as us, and you will join us for each part in this series. And you could share this with your colleagues or anyone who you know is working with Power BI and wants to know more, um, right? And generally interested. So the first topic we have today is defining KPIs as data sources. So what is a KPI? What is a measure? Anyone who is interested in data analytics, business intelligence, I'm sure you're familiar with this term. For those that aren't, a KPI is a key performance indicator. So they are critical indicators of progress towards an intended goal or result. They provide focus for strategic and operational improvement and create an analytical basis for decision making in an organization to help you keep track or keep focus on what is most important to your business and meeting your goals, right? And the data source is simply where we find the information to populate our KPI or the information that will be used in our calculations and formulas to create our KPIs, right? So today's video is really simple. It's probably going to be a short one. I have Riyad to assist me, and we wanted this session to be a bit of a working session slash practical, right? So let's jump right into it, right? So let me just pull up this blank Excel file here. All right, can you guys see my page? Yes, you can. All right, Riyad. So what do we have here? We
Alrighty.
tried to come up with a fictional business idea. We're starting from scratch. So we just came up with this fictional business, FNR Electronics. That's Riyad and I. We're gonna sell some computers and stuff, right? So the type of business, computer sales, and our setup is a single brick and mortar shop and an online store, right? Riyad, any details you wanna add for the context of this business?
Um, in general, what we're trying to do um, with this is to figure out what is important to our store, um, and what KPIs we might want to track to see our performance, um, and try to increase that performance as we go along.
Yeah, great. So um, we're just gonna do a few KPIs just to get you guys acquainted with the idea of or the process of what we're trying to do. Usually, how this works is that a client with an existing business or organization would have a problem or they need help tracking what's important to their business or how to improve their performance. So they would come to us, they would have a set of defined uh, areas that they want to track or they want to improve. And we would then do a requirement session where we go through with them, defining their KPIs and identifying the data sources, etc. Now, for our purposes, we have a blank slate, fictional new business. So for the purposes of this example, we will be highlighting stuff that we want to track in general. And we would also try to think of business problems or key business um, items that we want to keep track of for our dashboard reporting purposes. Right, so we have a small Excel file here, nothing too glamorous. Can't give away all our secrets. Right, so we will be listing the business problem or what we want to track. Coming up with a title for the KPI. It's usually similar to whatever is in the first column. And the filters. Filters just mean how we would like to slice or display that information. Most common one would be date for time series information. Um, and the data source is usually where you would find the information to use in your KPI calculation, right? So those are depends if you're a small business how you are tracking your data. If it's Excel, or if you're medium size, maybe you have some kind of management software or database you are using. Um, that's usually what the data sources are. Right, so Riyad, you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's just jump straight into it. We could probably take off some of the big ticket items. So
Right.
where you want to start with?
Uh, well, in general, we might be looking at mostly financial type KPIs. So let's look at maybe how much we're earning.
All right, let me just enlarge on this so they could see a bit better. All right, so how much we are earning? how much are we making? All right, cool. Do you want to do it line by line, or you want to list all the business problems or things we want to track first?
Let's list out all the issues or problems that we want to track,
All right,
and then we'll fill out the rest after.
no problem. All right, so okay, so how much are we earning? And I guess we would also want to know how much we're spending.
Definitely.
Right, so let's just add in that. All right, cool. What else we could track?
We might want to look at, well, since we're a computer shop and we have a lot of items, we might want to look at which products are or aren't selling.
All right, so what products are on selling? Cool, that's a good one. How about sales? How are we performing against sales target?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so let's say how our sales performance versus target. Oops. Right. Oops. All right, cool. What else could we track?
Well, we still need to get our parts from somewhere. So maybe something about our suppliers. We also the suppliers also tend to take some time for the items to reach us after we order. So possibly the average delay by suppliers.
All right. So I guess the problem there could be suppliers, supplier delay.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. What else? We want to see, maybe we want to see what is the average transaction value by customer?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Average. Alright. Let's do maybe two more. We don't want to do too much and go over time.
Right. Since we are talking about customers, I guess we could ask ourselves what segments of our customer base would be performing better than others or worse than others. So,
Sales performance by customer segments. Yeah. Cool. All right. I think we could start with this, and maybe we'll add on a couple if we think of anything by the end. Yeah. All right. So, what would this KPI be? How much are we earning? I guess that could be tracking profit.
spending could be cost of goods.
Cost of goods. So how much are we? I guess as profit. What's the let's do revenue. Let's do discount. Right, so all of those kind of derived from how much are we earning, how much are we spending, what products are on selling. The KPI there would be product turnover. Yeah. On maybe top 10 best slash selling products. All right. What do you have for sales performance?
This might be more or less the same as our business problem. So
yeah, I guess this would be the same, right? Yeah. Sales performance versus targets. I guess that is also similar. Supplier delay.
we could do the average supplier delay.
Average supplier delay time. Yeah. Probably not the best written, but I guess you guys get the idea. And the average transaction value by customer, I guess that's more or less the same. Yeah. All right. Are we missing any big ticket items?
I
Anybody in the chat wanna participate? Showing some ideas for what we should be tracking for our business. Feel free to comment, and we will evaluate the comment and add it in if it's a good suggestion. Yeah. No, we're just pulling out these KPIs off the top of our heads. We will add on or take away as necessary as the process goes on, right? So I guess this is a good starting point. The filters, as I said, is how we want to slice the information. So, usually with sales data, the main things, the profit, revenue, purchases, we want to see it by date. I think date is the most important filter for time series information. So it's usually by date, product, what you got.
we could also look at it by location.
Yeah, location, customer segment. What else can we slice our sales information by?
I guess for this one, well, other than
We could slice it by source of sales, so whether it was from our physical shop or the online store.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. Source of purchase, source of sale. Let's do that. All right. Cost of goods. So again, it very important.
We
Could be stuff that we're buying from suppliers. So yes, we want to see supplier.
we would have different types of items such as CPUs or cases, power supplies. So maybe hardware as a filter could be one.
All right, let's say hardware, and we all know hardware have various manufacturers. So that's a big one. And I think that should be it. Yeah, maybe if we think of some others, we'll add them in as we go. Product turnover. Let's see. Again, I think it's date, depending on the hardware. So maybe something is out of date or no longer popular. I guess that goes with the manufacturer as well. So if we compare Intel hardware, these days, I guess not so popular anymore compared to AMD, right? And
we might also have different price brackets that we might want to split the data into. So if we're looking at budget graphics card or maybe mid-range or high-end.
Yeah, definitely. So that was my thinking as well. Because definitely in this type of business, there are usually price brackets that people or customers are working with. So yeah, if it's a budget system or high end, yeah, definitely. Sales by customer segmentation. So again, we could do dates. We could do. Oh, we're gonna break up customer. Let's see. We could do age. What else you wanna do?
Location.
Yep. So this would be customer location, right?
Yes.
So, location. Let's do gender. That would be an interesting one. And what else should we add here?
This might be enough, I think, for now.
Yeah, should it be for personal use or business?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Because we'll need to, for persons who want our opinion on what to buy, we'll need to know what they're using it for.
Yep, definitely. All right, sales performance versus targets. I guess this is more or less just the big ticket ones. Date, product, location, and segment. The supplier delay would depend on the time. So like right now is a great example. A couple of months ago to now, when COVID started, we saw a huge delay in suppliers getting out products overseas, and there was a huge shortage and delay of computer hardware online and even in physical stores. Yeah.
Yeah, even now there's
Some
still a shortage on some parts.
Yeah, I'm sure you have some experience with that, Riyadh.
Yeah, ordered some parts for a computer February. Still waiting on them.
Oh man.
But hopefully one day.
Yeah. All right. So supplier, I guess it would also depend on the hardware you're purchasing, and along with that goes the manufacturer.
And the last one, we would want to do date. Customer order. And just like how we split which products are or aren't selling by price range, we might also want to do the same for this as well.
All right. Yep. All right. Cool. I think this should be sufficient for this first session. All right. So data sources. So this one is a bit simple. So our fictional business. Let's just assume that we just tracking everything in Excel and we have a table for everything. So sales, we will get that in sales or purchases. So I guess if depending on who is viewing this, that would be from a transaction log or sales log in a database. Usually you have to contact IT to give you a view for you to use data or contact accountant, that kind of thing. So, and if you're a small business and you're tracking everything in Excel, then it's usually your sales history or sales table, right? Cost of goods, that's straight up your purchases. Product turnover, where would we find that rate?
That would probably be in the inventory.
Right, so your inventory table, if you're medium size or even small size, maybe you're using some kind of inventory management tool or software. That would be your data source to pull your inventory information. Sales performance, I guess this is again sales and targets. So targets don't magically appear. You would usually have a separate table where you would identify your targets, or if it is a dynamic target. So, for example, let's say you're comparing performance to a previous time period. So, sales this month compared to sales last month, or sales this year compared to same time last year. That would be a target in that case. But usually, if you have a static target or something that you're manipulating or setting yourself every month or every week, then you would usually have a table where you log in these targets against various date ranges or dates, right?
Since we have sales performance by customer segmentation, would another data source also be a customers table?
Yes, definitely. Customer register. Yep. So if you have some information about who is purchasing, there's some small demographic information, you would try to link it right with your data. Sales performance versus targets. I guess that is almost the same thing. Yeah. All right. Last two. Riyad, you wanna take one?
All right.
Delay.
So the supplier delay, that would be related to purchases, I believe.
Yep. So on your purchases, you should have that information. And average transaction by customer. Again, that would be tied back to the sales table or orders table. Right, so just a simple example of how we would find the data to solve these KPIs. Right?
Oh, we might also want to add in the customer register here as well.
Yeah. Yes. Customer register. All right. Cool. So yeah, I think that's about it. A really simple working session. Maybe you guys could come up with your business idea. If you have a small business on the side or some even medium-sized business, you want to share um, your KPI listing. Maybe you guys could do the same example, the same exercise with your business and try to list it out like this. Um, yeah, that would be a good exercise. And maybe you could send it to us and we could take a look, help you out maybe. Um, if you have any questions or um, any comments, just feel free to reach out to us and we will try to respond. Um, Now, one thing that I did not include on this listing is you can include a column for the visual type. So basically, for each KPI, how would you want it displayed on your dashboard? So how much are we earning? Those are usually time series information where you would use a bar graph or a band line graph. Um, you know how what products um, or what products aren't selling. You could have a horizontal bar chart listing out units of products sold by um, by product, right? Um, that sort of information. So you can fill out these in advance. So let's just, Riyad, you want to do this? Fill these out.
Sure.
All right, let's end with filling in the visual types. So how much are we earning? Profit, revenue, discount. So these would usually be a bar graph and card values, right? You wanna interchange? You do one, I do one.
Sure.
All right.
For how much are we spending? Cost of goods. Or we have the different filters, so maybe we could also do a bar graph and card values for these as well.
All right. Okay. What products are on selling? We could do horizontal background. Um, we could also do donut or pie chart. Oops. All right.
For
Once.
this, we could do the bar graph again.
Mm-hmm.
For the customer location, we could actually use the map visual.
Excellent.
Um, Gender, we could probably use a donut or pie chart.
Mm-hmm.
And
We could do a histogram for the age.
yeah,
All right. Let's do that. cool. How was our sales performance versus targets? So versus targets, you would have a bar line graph. So the bars are usually the sales by month or whatever time period you select, and the line would be the target that you set for the same time period. So you could see if the bar is under the line, you aren't meeting your targets, and if the bar is over the line, you are achieving or exceeding your targets. Right? So bar and line graph for the sales performance versus targets, and you can have supporting visuals for product in the form of donut or horizontal chart. And for the location, we could use the map visual. Right? Riyadh, one more.
For this one, supplier delay, since we're looking at the average supplier delay, we might want to go with a line graph. Supplier, we might want to do a bar chart. We might want to use that for the supplier hardware as well as manufacturers, and we could have card values to show the average supplier delay, the total average supplier delay or lag time.
Card values. And yeah. Right, so right now, for those of you that aren't familiar with using Power BI, don't worry. I know this session we're not physically using Power BI, but once you get a bit acquainted, so you could go and watch the previous videos, get a orientation for Power BI. Because right now, Riyadh, I don't know about you, but just listing out the visual type and looking at the KPIs, I could already see the dashboard kind of forming in my mind.
Yeah.
So it's this process helps you to kind of internalize what the end result is gonna look like, right? So the last one, average transaction value by customer, we can have that as a card value, and we can have the average transaction value by a particular time period. So maybe you could see spikes in transaction value at the end of the year when people are buying for the holidays. Maybe they're spending more, that sort of thing. So we could do a bar graph, and we could slice that by product or order. Yeah, and I think that is a good starting point for this series. We have some KPIs that we want to look at. We have identified filters and data sources and the visual types that we want to use in our report. So I think this is a good starting point. Ria, do you have any comments on this free session?
I think that once you build out the base, figure out what problems your business has, look at the KPIs related to that, and just form a baseline, things would be a lot easier along the way because you now have something to look back at and to kind of keep you on track when you're going to visualize that data.
All right. Cool. Well, I hope this session was interesting to you guys. I know it was a weekend session, so might not have been 100% smooth, but please leave suggestions or comments on how we can improve these sessions, things that you guys want to see. Let us know if this series is something you guys are interested in. We're starting from the base, so business idea. This is as close to practical as we will get with you guys, other than working with your own personal data. So feel free to follow along the series. Subscribe to the channel. We are live every Wednesday from 2:30 to 3:30. Right. So next week, Wednesday, we'll be doing the data model design, data transformations to fit the data model. Right. We would be generating some data based on the KPIs that Riyad and I have defined here. I will be generating some fictional test data that we will use for the following sessions. So we will preview that to you guys, of course, before we start the next session on next week. All right. So 1 second. All right. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please feel free to share the video um, with your colleagues, friends, right? So, and please look at the previous videos. Anyone who is new to Power BI, if you're trying to get somebody interested in Power BI or to use Power BI in your organization, take a look. Ria, do you have any ending comments?
No, I think you covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have to. Take care.